Hello, my name's Christine Cook. I am a Montessori mother, a Montessori teacher, and a former holistic kinesiology practitioner. And you're looking at a Montessori school, which is a great thing. I'm here to have a conversation with you today about why I chose Montessori for my son and then continued on with the Montessori philosophy, becoming a Montessori teacher and continuing on that journey currently. So way back when my son was 2 years old, we attended a Montessori parent-child program, and we went once a week to this program, and my son got to explore a Montessori environment set up specifically for his age group. And this program was attached to a small little Montessori school that children from the age of 3 to 6 used to attend in a Cycle 1 program. And interestingly enough, I got to see these children from the 3 to 6 program, the Cycle 1 program, working outside and playing outside and having a bit of fresh air time. And early on in the piece, I began to notice something quite different about these children. And there was one particular child that struck me. And the qualities that this particular child was exhibiting was just something I had never seen before in children. And there was such a contrast with this particular child that it was quite noticeable and it drew my attention. So there was a light and a flame around this child that just was extraordinary. And I remember thinking, this is exactly what I want for my son and the qualities that I would like him to outpicture and embody as well. So that was really the hook that got me started with Montessori. So today I'd like to share with you 7 keys to understanding principles for drawing out the inner genius in your child and information that you may not find in a traditional school or even a Montessori school. And these are primarily the laws of nature and laws of development. So the first key that I'd like to share with you is around the heart's intelligence. So Dr. Maria Montessori talked about the heart intelligence quite a bit in her literature and referenced it throughout her books. And it's something that is a thing. And in going deeper into that, we recognise that the heart structure or the electromagnetic frequency of the heart is a measurable thing. And science and physics now have caught up with what Dr. Montessori saw way back in the 1800s when she was working with children. So there's a device called a superconductive quantum interference device, or a SQUID as it's coined in the field. And this device actually can measure the heart's electromagnetic frequency, and it can also measure the magnetic flux that comes from the heart. And they have found that the heart frequency and the magnetic field is 16 times, it radiates 16 feet, out into the field. So with that, it can have a flux of, which is 1,000 times stronger than the brain. And moreover, they have measured the nerve fibers that run from the heart to the brain, and they realise that there's more nerve fibers running from the heart to the brain than the brain to the heart. So there's a real heart-brain connection happening just in our physiology alone. Couple that with the electromagnetic frequency that comes from the heart, we know that the heart plays a fundamental part in the development of our intelligence and our learning. So when you are schooling your children, whether it's at home or in a public setting like a Montessori school or a mainstream school, knowing that the heart is key for all learning is a game changer, really is. And knowing that our heart and our intuition that comes from our heart can be the barometer for everything that we do going forward. So tapping into our heart, tuning in, and as a parent, to the particular school that you might be choosing to look for, or the type of environment that you'd like to set your child up in. If it's distortion for the heart frequency to radiate, then something that you can consider. So, for example, when I'm saying when you're looking for a Montessori school, I would like you as a parent to maybe visit this school and just get a frequency reading from your heart as to what you're picking up. So is it a vibration of peace, calm, good feelings, or is it something that you're feeling not quite right about? So use your heart to guide you with finding the right Montessori school for you. And in saying that, a school that honours children's heart flame and the heart intelligence that that comes from this space is really key in allowing your child to have the right environment for tapping into their heart and bringing forth the learning that is to come. So the second key that I would like to share with you is we are all energy. Energy is all around us, and God is energy, and energy is God. And God is light. So the light is something that we do get to see in our children, particularly, when they're first born. There's a beautiful essence and a flame around our children. There's an innocence that is just so pure and holy. And through this essence, you get a sense of the light that's radiating from your newborn baby. And this light is really bright early on, and it continues on throughout your child's life. However, we can enhance this light and bring forth this light from the environment that we set up for our child. So it's key to know that we're going to clear all obstacles and hindrances so that our children can go forth and have their light shine brighter and brighter. So the third key I'd like to share with you for drawing out the inner genius in your children is allowing them time to tap into their inner teacher. So the inner teacher is a reference that Dr. Montessori puts in her literature as well. And she noticed that the children were directed by an inner force when they were working in her environments. And the inner teacher is simply put the voice within, the intuition or the mediator between the higher mind, the higher source, the higher potential, and the child. So it's the God source. And through the heart structure and the electromagnetic field of the heart, the child goes into their heart structure to connect with their inner teacher. So it's really important for us to know that there's a special relationship happening when children are in their zone and connected to their inner teacher, and getting that communication straight down from their higher self through their heart structure, and working towards that alignment. So the fourth key area I'd like to talk to you about in drawing out your child's inner genius is their capacity to concentrate. So Dr. Montessori realised that children from the age of 0 to 6 have an absorbent brain, an absorbent mind, and she coined this the between the age of 0 to 3, there's an unconscious absorbent mind, and children then moving to a conscious absorbent mind from 3 to 6 years old. And throughout the 0 to 6 period, children are able to take in vast amounts of knowledge. And through this knowledge comes concentration. And the concentration is key for children to be able to work with their heart, head, and hand all together. And the 3 corresponding fields enable the child to blaze into this transformational state. And there's like a resurrection. She actually, Dr. Montessori talks about the conversion of children, and she sees this through this intense concentration. When they finish this phase of concentrating, they come out of this state feeling and looking quite different. And I've seen this happen in Montessori classroom, where children come from a really intense focus period of concentration, and their face is completely different, and their manner is completely different, and there's more light around them, and they're just really sparkly, clean and shiny looking. It's just one of those moments where you realize that something magical has happened, and you can observe this with your children, knowing that something within has transpired, and the faculties of the soul are coming forth. It's quite remarkable. The 5th key that I'd like to share with you is that children thrive on an environment that is structured and ordered, particularly children from 0 to 6. And that's why the Montessori environment works so well, because there is so much structure and order to it that aligns to the child's own inner order and structure. So primarily children do function better in an environment that has an orderly manner to it. And through this environment, children are able to flourish. So it's really great if you have got an environment at home that is orderly, where your child can work. So the 6th key of drawing out the inner genius is to practice care and compassion. So showing care and compassion and setting up an environment that draws this out, these qualities out, also helps to open up the heart, and it takes children from their lower mind into their higher mind. So the lower mind is where we've all been stuck. So we're now wanting to develop a different way of going, and so providing your environment with activities and resources, and setting up experiences that draws out care and compassion for oneself, others and the environment, as I said, is a key to opening up the heart and the heart structure and the intelligence of the heart. So the final key to share with you today is to awaken the good and beautiful within your children. And you can do this at a very early age. And it's done very, very simply. And that is to embody that within yourself. So you can teach your children the good and beautiful by doing those acts yourself. And it's important to realise that your children are constantly taking a reading from your aura. So they're tapping in with their own intelligence and getting a reading from you as well. So if you're out picturing and embodying the good and beautiful, that's showing your children and teaching your children as well how they can do it. And know that if you're looking for a Montessori school, hopefully these keys will assist you with understanding a little bit more about the heart's intelligence. So if you're off to see a Montessori school and meeting the head of school and the teachers and the environment and looking at the philosophy, just get an imprint from your heart as to if that feels right for you or not. And please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel down below, and I also have in the description box some links to my guide to help you with raising and bringing out the genius in your children, and a link to my email list where you can stay connected to all the information that I produce, the videos that I upload, and in particular the announcement of my ebook, and that will be coming out soon, titled Raising a Genius. So if you've also got any comments or questions, please just use the comments guide down below and leave any questions there or any concerns that you might have. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Happy parenting, and ciao for now.